Good morning, student. So, in the subject Electronics Device and Circuits, from the chapter number 2, MOSFET and its DC analysis, I am Madhuri Moik, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. So, in this session, we are going to see the further part of the chapter number 2, that is MOSFET and its DC analysis. So previously we have covered in a last session that the E channel, sorry, N channel E MOSFET, okay, and its working principle. So in this chapter we have first seen what is that the MOSFET, then types of the MOSFET, from that D MOSFET for the N channel as well as P channel we have seen. After that, symbols for that the D MOSFET we have seen. Then N channel, enhancement MOSFET we have seen in the last session. Then now the next points we are going to discuss in this session. So for today's session, our outline is DC biasing, the MOSFET, then E MOSFET DC bias point, then the MOSFET ID VDS characteristics, then N-type E MOSFET characteristics curves, and after that basic common source MOSFET amplifier we are going to see. So let us start with the DC biasing the MOSFET. So the universal voltage divider biasing circuit is a popular biasing technique used to establish a desired DC operating condition of bipolar transistor amplifier as well as the MOSFET amplifier. So in the last session we have up to this we have covered. So let us start with the once again that the DC biasing the MOSFET. So why the biasing is required? So for the stable operation, the DC biasing in the transistor circuitry is required. So we know that there is a self biasing as well as the voltage divider biasing circuits that we have used in a BJT. So just like that, the universal voltage divider biasing circuit is a popular biasing technique which are established to a desired DC operating point. So it will used in a BJT as well as that the FET. So the advantage of the voltage divider biasing network is that the MOSFET or indeed a bipolar transistor can be based from a single DC supply, but first we need to know where to bias the gate for our MOSFET amplifier. So let us see the where that the biasing will provide in a MOSFET. So as we have seen above, the saturation region begins when VGS is above the VTS threshold level. So already we have seen that the how the MOSFET will how the MOSFET work for that the input voltage VGS when it starts that the current conduction, when that the VGS is at least enough positive, at that time the current flowing from that the device or that the channel is uh, induced in that the E MOSFET, then and then only the current will start from that the drain to source. So like that VGS at which voltage that the conduction will start in a MOSFET, that voltage is known as the VTH, that is threshold level. So therefore if we apply a small AC signal which is superimposed onto this DC bias at the gate input, then the MOSFET will act as a linear amplifier. Okay. So already we have seen that the MOSFET that the working principle, so it will act as a linear amplifier. Then a MOSFET device has three different regions of operation. So which are the three regions? So ohmic, triode region, or second one is the saturation or linear region, and pinch off point. So for a MOSFET to operate as a linear amplifier, we need to establish a well defined constant operating point or Q point. So it must be biased to operate in its saturation region. So the Q point for the MOSFET is represented by the DC values ID and VGS that position the operating point centrally on the MOSFET's output characteristics curve. Okay, so Q point is nothing but that the quotient operating point. So biased to the operating, it's a saturation region, because in saturation region FET will act as a good amplifier. Okay, so when we want that the MOSFET as a linear amplifier, we have to set the Q point in saturation level such that it will provide that the stable amplifying operation. So see here, E MOSFET DC bias point. So this is nothing but the ID versus VGS. So VGS is enough positive. At that time we are applying that the input AC supply. So during that it will work as a amplifier. So let us see that the VTH is here. So from this onwards, that the current flowing from that the ID is going to be increased. So we have to set this Q point such that it will give you that the stable amplifier or circuitry. So here, see here, the input is applied at the output side, the amplification will take place. So the common source NMOS circuit above shows that the sinusoidal input voltage, that is VI, is in series with DC source. This DC gate voltage will be set by the bias circuit. Then the total gate source voltage will be sum of VGS and VA. Okay, so we have to set that the DC operating point so that the gate terminal becomes that the positive, and according to that it will nothing but the set one the reference voltage, and due to that the stable common source amplifier will be work. So the DC characteristics and therefore Q point are all functions of gate voltage VGS, supply voltage VDD, and load resistance RD. So the MOS transistor is biased within the saturation region to establish the desired drain current, which will define the transistor's Q point. So as the instantaneous value of VGS increases, the bias point moves up the curve as shown, allowing a larger drain current to flow as VDS decreases. Okay. So likewise, as the instantaneous value of VGS decreases, that is during the negative half of the input sine wave, the bias point moves down the curve and a smaller VGS result in the smaller drain current and increased VDS. So then, in order to establish a large output swing, we must bias the transistor well above the threshold level to ensure that the transistor stays in a saturation over the full sinusoidal input cycle. So, however, there is a limit on the amount of gate bias and drain current we can use. So, to allow for maximum voltage swing of the output, the Q point should be positioned approximately halfway between the supply voltage VDD and the threshold voltage VTH. Then the E MOSFET ID versus VDS characteristics. We have seen above that we can construct a graph of the MOSFET's forward DC characteristics by keeping the supply voltage. So VDD constant and increasing the gate voltage VG, but in order to get a complete picture of the operation of the N-type enhancement MOS transistor. So to use within a MOSFET amplifier circuit, we need to display the output characteristics for different values of both VDD and VGS. So as with the NPN BJT, that is bipolar junction transistor, we can construct a set of output characteristics curves showing the drain current, that is ID, for increasing positive values of VG for an N-channel enhancement mode MOS transistor. So as shown, so see here N-type E-MOSFET characteristics curve. So here ID versus VDS with the various constant VGS value, which is ranging from the 0 to plus 6 fold. So here actually three regions of the E-MOSFET is shown. Ohmic region, where that the MOSFET will work as a variable resistor. Then saturation region, where that the ID current is constant and it is better for the amplification, and the cutoff, that is the off mode. So note that the P-channel E-MOSFET device would have a very similar set of drain current characteristics, but the polarity of the gate voltage would be reversed. So this graph is indicating for the N-type E-MOSFET. So here that the VGS is the having positive value, but if you plot for the P-channel E-MOSFET, then this VGS gets reverse polarity, that is in a minus. So here it is clear the MOSFET is working in a three regions: ohmic, saturation, and cutoff. So saturation region, it will work as a amplifier. In ohmic it will on, and in cutoff it is off. So one can use that the MOSFET as a switch. Then basic common source MOSFET amplifier. So previously we looked at how to establish the desired DC operating condition to bias the N-type E-MOSFET. If we apply a small time varying signal to the input, then under the right circumstances, the MOSFET circuit can act as a linear. So amplifier providing the transistor Q point is somewhere near the center of the saturation region, and the input signal is small enough for the output to remain linear. Consider the basic MOSFET amplifier circuit below. So let us see the basic common source MOSFET amplifier. So see here the C1, C2 are the coupling capacitors are used for the input and output side. So this is basic MOSFET amplifier, which is N channel. So V in is applied through that the coupling capacitor C1. R1, R2 is the biasing voltage divider network is used, R1, R2, and here RD current and the RS. So again output we can take on across is the load line, load resistor RL. So output is coupled through the C2 capacitor. So see here also ID versus the VGS, when the current will start flowing from the device, when the VGS is greater than VTS. So this is the Q point. Okay, so ID is the maximum one here. So somehow ID, Q and VGS value is noted here. So this is nothing but the load line, over that the Q point. So this simple enhancement mode common source MOSFET amplifier configuration uses a single supply at the drain and generates the required gate voltage VG using a resistor divider. So we remember that for a MOSFET, no current flows into the gate terminal, and from these we can make the following basic assumptions about the MOSFET amplifier DC operating condition. So using with the reference of this circuit, we are going to make some assumptions. Let us see. So here VDD is equal to, okay, see here VDD is equal to, this path is considered ID into RD plus voltage across the drain and source plus ID into RS. So VDD is equal to RD into ID, VDS plus ID into RS. So we can take ID is common. So in bracket RD plus RS plus VDS. So rearranging this, so ID is in a denominator and minus VDS. Then from this we can say that RD is equal to VDD minus VDS by ID, and RS is equal to VS divided by ID. So MOSFET gate to source voltage VGS is given by VGS is equal to VG minus IS into RS. Okay, so by using this voltage series in that input voltage is equal to outgoing voltages. So rearranging this equation, we have find RD, RS as well as for the gate to source voltage VGS. Then, as we have seen above, for proper operation of the MOSFET, this gate source voltage must be greater than the threshold voltage. That already we have seen. The gate source voltage must be greater than that the threshold voltage. So VGS is greater than the VTH since IS is equal to ID. So the gate voltage VG is therefore equal to, so VGS is nothing but the VG minus IDRS. Therefore, by rearranging this equation, VG becomes VGS plus IDRS. So if we can rewrite that this ID into RS is nothing but the voltage across the source. So VG is equal to VGS plus VS. So to set the MOSFET amplifier gate voltage to this value, we select the values of the resistor. So R1 and R2 within the voltage divider network to the correct values. Okay. So as we know from above, no current flows into the gate terminal of a MOSFET device. So the formula for voltage divider division is given by, that is VG is equal to VDD into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, and the gate bias voltage is taken here. So note that this voltage divider equation only determines the ratio of two bias resistors. Okay, so R1 and R2, and not their actual value. So also it is desirable to make the values of these two resistors as large as possible to reduce their I square R power loss and increase the MOSFET amplifier input resistance. Okay, so we have seen the MOSFET basic MOSFET amplifier, where here that the voltage divider network is used. So according to that we have plotted the load line and over that the Q point, and for the Q point we have seen this the equation. Okay, so here the load line, so the Q point is very important while we are thinking about that the stable output. So when we can say the stable working of the amplifier, when it will produce the linear means that the output without any fluctuations of the input side, so that output is nothing but the stable output. So why there is a need of biasing? For that the proper operation of that the circuit, the biasing is required. So here the voltage divider network is used so that the Q point is set in a saturation region, and the MOSFET gives you the amplification in a saturation region. So MOSFET has that the two applications. It will work as a switch as well as it will work as a amplifier. But when that the MOSFET we can use as an amplifier in saturation region, it will work as a amplifier region. But in saturation region we have to set the Q point, and then only it will give you that the stable operation. Stable operation means what? There is a no any due to the input side, there is a no any fluctuation at the output side. Okay, So that's why the stability of that the circuit we have to maintain well, and it is done according to the setting the Q point, and for the Q point setting we require the biasing circuitry. So already in the first chapter we have seen biasing by the battery or that the circuit, but the battery is not that much useful because it is the costly, and the charging discharging of that the battery, due to that it is not able to give the stable operation or the stable biasing operation. So that's why the biasing circuits are used to give the MOSFET amplification. Thank you.